see you in person.
Good to see you too. Yeah.
Mate, let's go get it, yeah?
All right.
Cool. Right. To the Mandalay.
Let's go cause some Barney trouble. Barney rubble.
Some Barney rubble.
Barney rubble.
You did.
I'm trying.
So you know the Cockney rhyming slang?
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Right, so we are here as part of our Carpool Conversations with Ron Rock from JobsOhio. Ron, how you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah?
Weather's nice.
Weather's nice. We've got the blue skies. We've
Yeah.
got the Porsche Taycan 4. And we are traveling down the Las Vegas Strip on the way to the Mandalay Bay. So, Ron, with that in mind, can you give us and our viewers a bit more of a background to yourself and JobsOhio?
Sure. Yeah, I one of the 9 sectors that JobsOhio focuses on. We're an economic development organization in Ohio, obviously. Been in the industry a long time, probably way too long.
Yeah.
But I've seen it.
You've seen it all.
I've seen it go from boring to let's be innovative, and innovative was let's go from paper files to like paperless. That was innovation back when I was in it. So getting into it again, it's pretty awesome to see the different technology that we're dipping into.
Yeah.
Still really young, but it's great to be in that industry again. And kind of what I'm doing is just scoping out what's out there and seeing if I can create partnerships.
So, Ron, is this your first time in Las Vegas?
No,
Are you a long-time fan?
I'm a long-time tolerator. I'll say it that way.
Yeah, that's a good way of describing it.
I always say my visit depends on how well the first day goes.
Yeah.
Like if it goes pretty decent, then
if you're a couple hundred up,
yeah, then I'll feel like, hey, Vegas is the best place on earth.
Yeah.
And if my money goes real quick, then I'm ready to fly out the next day.
Yeah. Amazing. So, I mean, we're on our way to the Mandalay Bay, but for you, what casino typifies Las Vegas?
You got to go with Caesars.
Right.
Caesars Palace. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge fan of the old Strip. So when I come here, sometimes I'll go over to the Golden Nugget.
Yeah.
Play at Binion's. Binion's, you can play for really low money, and that's where I feel like a high roller. I can actually I sit there for a long time.
Yeah.
Can bet all night long and maybe maximum lose a few bucks. And
you have a good time.
Yeah.
That's the point of it,
And
right? That's the point of Vegas.
Yeah, and the old Strip with the lights and everything, it's just really cool.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of bringing up the pandemic, but one thing it really showed is that you can operate out of anywhere.
Right.
So why not operate in the place that is tailored or will tailor to what your organization wants to provide? And we're obviously here today for ITC. And what do you really believe that Ohio can provide some of the large scale insurers down to the Insurtechs that are highly tech focused or looking at that talent focus? What can Ohio bring insurers and Insurtechs in that spectrum?
It's not really a complex formula, but you have to have the economy.
Yeah.
You have to have good economic setup makeup in the state,
Sure.
Which we do. We have low business operating costs. We have no state income tax or corporate tax.
Yeah.
And then you have to have the ecosystem, which is the corporations. We have fintech. We have Insurtech companies. We have venture capital firms. It's just all there. And you could be a state that says, hey, I want to bring a lot of financial services companies to the state, but if you don't have that makeup, it's not going to happen. And you could try to push different things out, but
Yeah.
If you don't have all the aspects of the formula, it's tough to do.
Yeah.
So our runway is pretty clear. And another plug for JobsOhio is we saw that a couple years ago.
Yeah.
We created 3 innovation centers, which really help, especially in the Insurtech and fintech space, as well as the healthcare space.
Oh, class.
So it's just all kinds of stuff
Yeah.
that we're doing to make sure that we're staying with the times and making sure that we're changing with the different economic conditions.
Yeah. Now, well, speaking of the changing different economic conditions, we're currently going down the new part of the strip. Obviously, we've got New York on our left. We've got all the M&M world. You mentioned going up to Old Town, but I mean, what is actually your favorite part of Vegas? I mean, why do you keep coming back here?
I was just talking about this earlier. I'm a little bit of a diva. I like to shop. So I'll do some gambling, but I also like to do the shopping part too.
Perfect. Now, Ron, I want to find out a bit more about yourself and how did you get involved in all this? You said you've been in the industry for quite a while. Mm-hmm. How did you intersect into both finance, insurance, and really enable Ohio to kind of be on the map for that?
It's not even a glamorous type of story. I kind of fell into my first job at Nationwide. Had a friend that worked there and said this is a great company. Yeah. I ended up spending 15-ish years there doing everything from commercial insurance all the way through sales.
Sure.
I did some actuarial work, so I learned a lot of the ropes and a lot of the business, and then kind of moved on a little bit between then and now. But again, it's when I'm thinking of an office, I was never the kind of guy that said, here's what I want to do for a living, here's what I want to do, here's the company I want to go for. I tended to kind of mold everything as I went and became pretty well-rounded to ultimately doing economic development, which wraps all of my business knowledge into one
neat package,
mold.
Really.
Yeah, neat package.
We're seeing a lot of digitization in insurance. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned there's a lot of talent in Ohio. Mm-hmm. Where do you see the insurance industry going in the future? And obviously you've worked at Nationwide too. Yeah. What's innovation now?
I've said this a bunch of times. It's meeting the customer when and where they need to be met.
Yeah.
It's no longer an industry where I feel like in the past insurance felt like it had the leg up on the customer, and it was almost like the customer had to build their life around what insurance does for the customer.
Wow.
As opposed to now the insurance industry has to build their business around the customer. And things like Tesla insurance, where they're using all the data because it's embedded in the vehicle. Everything is partnering together for the product versus the insurance part of it.
Yeah.
I think too, because even with my vehicle, I get email updates about here's the status of your vehicle.
Wow.
And I never really think about it. That's my car's version of data analytics. They know the status of my vehicle. They know a little bit more about me. And I never really paid attention to it until actually this week when I got the email and it said, here's your driving habits of the last week or the last month. And companies are starting to get to know their customers a lot more.
Wow.
And I think that's kind of where we're going, not just in P&C, but we are going that way in life insurance as well, knowing how healthy a person is, using data to their advantage and knowing more about their customer. Yeah. So I think that's the biggest change.
It's interesting that now customers are realizing that they can actually get different insurance products. There's never had to just be one size fits all.
Right.
You can actually say, well, look, I mean, I think before maybe it would have been like you tick if you're a smoker or a drinker. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, do you go for a run? But you don't even need to tell your insurer because your Fitbit tells them.
It's all tied to, yep.
It's become a very customer-centric industry.
Yeah, it's never a good, nobody buys insurance saying, when I lose everything that I own, I'm going to be so happy to get this money. They want to insure the things, their personal belongings. There's a lot of memories, a lot of history in that. They would rather catch that ahead of time. And I think that's where things like IoT and the data analytics piece is going to be very key to keeping those losses to a minimum.
Yeah. But we've made it to the Mandalay. Cool. Okay, right. Come on. Thanks, man.
Thanks, China Plate.
Yeah, mate. And you know, I hope the driving wasn't so scary. And we're now here at the Mandalay, so
It's amazing.
it's
Ready to
pretty
have a good time.
gorgeous. Yeah, right.
Enjoy the ride.
Mate,
Yeah.
thanks so much, and I'll see you in there. Yeah.
Thank you.
See ya.
Good to see you.